Hello and welcome all rogues and rangers to Roll for Rations, a series inspired by Roll for Sandwich where I let the dice decide what recipe I'm making for you today. Thanks to everyone who voted last week for the color of the post here in the center. This comment got the most likes, and I did my best to make it look like a tree. I'm no artist, but I hope it's to your liking. Let's leave the slide for last, so what should we paint the ladder on the back? Today we'll be using the blue and purple dice that I have no recollection of receiving as a gift. I either got this set in a bundle or in a big dice bag gift a friend gave me years ago. Either way, I love the magical vibe they give off. Let's go ahead and roll our D4 to determine which cookbook we'll be cooking from today. A 3, just like last week, which means it's another new cookbook to the lineup. This new book is From Crook to Cook, Snoop Dogg's cookbook. I haven't yet had a chance to make anything out of this one, but flipping through the recipes made me really excited. A lot of real fun things are in store for this book. These new tabs on the top dog-ear our 6 recipes, so let's go ahead and roll a d6 to determine which recipe we'll be making from Snoop Dogg's From Crook to Cook. That's a 1. Let's see what we got. Stacked up flapjacks. Alright, not exactly what I was hoping to pull, but I like a pancake well enough. Let's remember our wild magic roll from last episode. We got a 7, which is the dramatic voice curse. For 2 minutes, you must narrate everything like an epic fantasy story. Great. All right, we know the recipe, we know our wild magic debuff. Let's get the ingredients together. We're gonna need Aunt Jemima doesn't exist anymore, so pearl milling syrup, baking powder, flour, sugar, salt, butter, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, milk, and sour cream. Now before we read that first step, let's go ahead and roll our challenge die, which is a D6. That's a 6. Caveman.
Get bowl. Mix flour, salt, sugar, baking powder.
Next step. We got a 4. Okay. No measure. That might be an issue, but whatever. We roll with the punches here. So we're going to get a separate bowl and whisk together our eggs, vanilla, milk, and sour cream until it's frothy. Then we're going to add some melted butter and whisk again. All right, step 3. Let's go. 6. Caveman again? Okay.
This is where mess up. Get powder thing. Powder dry over wet. Gently fold. Want lumpy. Want thin.
Okay, last step. Let's see what we got. 2. Sing. You know you love it when I sing. Place your large skillet over medium heat and add 1 tablespoon of butter. Then when it gets hot, drop a big old plop of that batter onto the butter. Cook until the bubbles in the center burst, then flip it from the butter. Cook the other side, then put it on a plate topped with syrup and butter. I call that one butter. Voila! Here we have it. I haven't done my 2 minutes yet, so let's get 2 minutes on the clock here.
Hark! At long last, the griddle's labor is ended. The pancakes are done. By my oath, this undertaking demanded far more time and vigor than my humble stack of cakes has a right to ask. Truly, I know not whether I have followed the path correctly or wandered astray somewhere in the craft, and there remains within me a grim suspicion that these golden rounds may yet be disappointing. Still, I bear in hand this enchanted syrup, sweet as a tavern's bard's finest lie, and if fortune abandons me, at the very least, it shall make the whole affair taste richly of syrup. Come then, let us test the fruits of this strange endeavor. Oh. Well now, truth be told, that is not bad at all. You can taste the butter. Plain and true. Which is a noble thing. The syrup, however, is carrying much of the burden here, like a weary pack mule on a mountain road. Without it, I know not if these cakes would have the strength to stand proudly on their own. Yet with it, respectable. More than respectable, perhaps. A modest victory. So then, let us pass judgment. For time, I grant it an 8. 50 minutes for pancakes is absolute madness. Granted, some portion of that folly may rest with me, but still, such a span is excessive for breakfast fare. For ease, I award it to 7. The task is not cruelly difficult, no, but it is astonishingly more troublesome than pancakes ought ever be. For taste, I bestow an 8. It is good enough, Pleasant, nothing legendary, nothing a royal messenger need carry across the realm, but fair enough, especially considering the toil required. And thus, by reckoning of this Quitchen Court, it earns the stout score of an 8. Huzzah! Now then, let us cast the wild magic dice and see what chaos awaits us in the next episode.
All right, 8. Gravity shift. All right, we've had this before. It must be completely seated for a step. Roger. All right, see you next time, Rationers.